What's up, America? UPS versus Amazon. So UPS, the shipping company, is now announcing it's ending its partnership with Amazon and laying off 20,000 people. Now, these jobs that are going to be cut are obviously jobs that were Amazon delivery jobs within UPS. Now, that seems like a lot, but UPS is saying that the profit margin was so low that they didn't have any reason to really keep doing this. And so now they're going to focus on delivering medicine and other things like that rather than deal with Amazon. Now, if you're unaware, Amazon also partners with the post office, and you see how great that can be. No, Amazon's just fine. I'm talking about how horrifyingly bad the post office has become. But I digress on that. So frankly speaking, I didn't actually know that Amazon partnered with so many other individuals for shipping. And so it seems like a lot of moves are being made at Amazon, mostly negative. 20,000 jobs cut in a partnership with UPS, and of course now their war with Donald Trump on showing tariff prices. I wonder if him and Jeff Bezos have some kind of problem with each other or what.
We need to cut 20,000 jobs and shut down 73 facilities. Oh, cool. So you want me to send more packages, right? Actually, we're cutting your shipments by 50% by 2026. But wait, I'm your biggest customer with one of the smallest profit margins. We lose money faster than your free return policy. But I offered to send you more volume. And I told you this relationship is toxic. So we're breaking up? No. We just need to see less of you and your boxes. Did you find someone new? Honestly, we're trying to. But for now, cutting your shipments could help us save billions.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Joy Report. In today's video, we're going to talk about UPS laying off an entire plant's worth of employees, affecting thousands of hardworking people and families. This story isn't just about one company. It's about a chain reaction fueled by flawed policies, shifting business strategies, and a struggling economy. We're going to break down exactly what led to this mass layoff, from Trump's trade tariffs that made importing goods more expensive, to inflation that's forcing everyday Americans to shop less. If this is the kind of content you enjoy, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing so that YouTube may recommend it to a wider audience. And so now, without further ado guys, let's go straight into this video. But first, let me play you a few videos on this matter, and I'll come back with my commentary. As a side note, all credit goes to the creators of these videos.
UPS is cutting 20,000 jobs this year as it slashes Amazon deliveries. More layoffs, great. So apparently they're laying off 20,000 people. They're closing dozens of facilities, and it's reducing its shipments from Amazon. And of course they got to lay off, the delivery drivers and the package handlers, the workers. Not only that, they're going to shutter about 73 leased and owned buildings, and they may find additional facilities for closure as well. But hey, it's going to save them $3.5 billion. Now, UPS has about 490,000 employees, so if you cut that many people, you're talking about 4% of its staff. And don't forget, last year they cut 12,000 management positions. They gave a statement saying, given the current macroeconomic uncertainty, this cannot be good, America. But it looks like they're still hanging in there in the stock market. Good for UPS. But this is wild. Last week, they agreed to acquire Canada-based healthcare logistics company Andler Health Group, Inc. for $1.6 billion. The move is the latest in a string of deals as the company seeks to reach $20 billion in healthcare revenue. UPS is in healthcare? You know it's not good when you live in a consumer-based economy and the parcel service is laying off people. Not trending well.
Bad news to the U.S. economy thanks to Donald Trump. UPS today has announced they will be laying off 20,000 employees and closing over 70 facilities between now and June because of Donald Trump's tariffs. UPS gets a large portion of their business, their delivery business, from Amazon. Amazon, because of the tariffs, are seeing a great reduction, and if you look at the prices, you'll see why, in the shipments that are being requested for Amazon. So they know they're going to need less, so therefore UPS is laying off 20,000 now. It may be more later when all these other businesses slow down. More and more and more, thanks to Donald Trump's tariffs. All of these tariffs are unnecessary. They do nothing to help the economy. They do nothing to help Americans. They're going to cost us jobs. They're going to be detrimental to people. And it's all thanks to Donald Trump and his infinite wisdom, which is clearly it's infinite. It's so infinite we can't even see it.
Big news out of UPS, they're laying off 20,000 employees. And the reason they're doing this is because Amazon shipments are just down that drastically. So this is going to affect about 4% of their workforce. And why are Amazon shipments down so much? Well, obviously people aren't purchasing as much. I've heard some people throw around tariffs. I've heard people throw around the economy, and all of those things could be true. But is this necessarily a bad thing if people are now buying things locally? Also, during the pandemic, Amazon is one of the few places that actually increased their sales. Their profitability during that time went up 220% because obviously everyone was at home and ordering stuff from home. During this same time, a lot of local small businesses, restaurants, mom and pop stores, a lot of them were struggling and still haven't made it all the way back. This is on top of them announcing last year that they were going to be cutting 12,000 jobs. And not only are they cutting these jobs, they're going to be closing 73 different locations of their facilities by June of this year, 2025.
So UPS announced yesterday they were going to lay off 20,000 workers before the end of this year. Here's everything I do as quickly as possible. So first off, they actually made an announcement earlier this year that they were planning on closing 10% of the facilities by 2028. This was due to restructuring the company, getting rid of Amazon. This was an announcement. However, yesterday's announcement's a little different. So the company's citing two reasons, according to their earnings call, that happened recently. One of them being they're getting rid of 10% of their Amazon volume, and the other one is massive disruptions in the supply chain. Again, I've said this plenty of times, guys, but if you want to know the future of transportation, look to the longshoremen, because what do we deliver? Commodities, trinkets, toys, goods, all of that stuff. Guess where it comes from? I think you know.
So first, what exactly happened? UPS announced it's going to lay off around 20,000 workers, and in some areas, entire plants will be shut down. For thousands of families, this layoff is devastating. It's a reality check that the economy is not as strong or as stable as some people would like to believe. One of the major drivers is a steady decline in shipping volume. Why? Well, there are a few major factors at play here. First, let's talk about tariffs. The Trump administration has imposed a series of aggressive trade tariffs, especially on goods imported from China and other countries. These tariffs were meant to punish competitors and encourage domestic production. But what they actually did was make imported goods more expensive for American businesses and consumers. But that's not all. Inflation is also playing a major role. As the cost of living continues to rise, everyday Americans are buying less. People aren't shopping like they used to. They're tightening their budgets, skipping non-essentials, and avoiding online orders unless absolutely necessary. Less shopping means fewer packages to ship. It's a cycle. Economic strain reduces consumer spending, which then reduces business for companies like UPS. And then there's Amazon, a key piece of the puzzle. At some point, Amazon was UPS's biggest customer. Millions of packages flow through UPS trucks and facilities every day. But that changed. Back in January, UPS quietly announced it was ending a major contract with Amazon. The reason? Amazon built its own delivery empire. They no longer rely on UPS like they once did. With their own planes, trucks, and delivery network, Amazon is now shipping directly to customers, cutting UPS out of the equation completely. So this isn't just about tariffs or inflation. It's also about losing a massive client. UPS took a huge hit when Amazon pulled away. And while the contract termination was public knowledge back in January, the full impact is only being felt now. These layoffs, especially the complete closure of some plants, are directly tied to that decision. Now, let's talk about the truck drivers, another group that's about to feel the pain. As package volumes continue to shrink, a lot of truck drivers will find themselves idle in various regions. Without packages to deliver, there's no route to run, no paycheck to earn. This is the ripple effect of corporate restructuring combined with broader economic pressure. And again, this isn't just about tariffs alone, but it certainly accelerated the timeline. When imports dropped, shipping routes dried up. When Amazon left, bulk demand disappeared. And now, even the drivers, the backbone of America's supply chain, are being left behind. So where does all this leave us? Well, we have thousands of workers, plant employees, drivers, warehouse staff suddenly out of work. Families who relied on UPS for income, health insurance, and long-term stability are now scrambling to figure out what's next. Some may find new jobs quickly, others might not. And with inflation already squeezing household budgets, the timing couldn't be worse. It's worth repeating. This was preventable. These are the long-term consequences of long-sighted policy and profit-first business decisions. When the Trump administration pushed trade tariffs without building a sustainable domestic alternative, it created instability in the global supply chain. And in the middle of it all, the average worker is left to pick up the pieces. What's most frustrating is that the people being hurt had no control over any of these decisions. They didn't ask for tariffs. They didn't design the corporate contracts. They just clocked in, did their jobs, and went home, trusting that the system would take care of them. And now, that system is letting them down. The bigger picture here is alarming. UPS is just one company, but it's a bellwether. If layoffs are happening at this scale here, you can bet other companies are evaluating their workforce too. More job cuts could be on the way, especially if consumer spending continues to drop and inflation remains high. What's happening at UPS is a red flag, and it's waving loudly.
So UPS, United Parcel Service, is going to be laying off 4% of the United States workforce, and that comes down to 20,000 people. Now, the reason they're laying these people off is because the number of deliveries are dropping drastically. They're not exactly sure how far it's going to drop, but it's enough to where they're laying off 20,000 people to start with. And this is all due to the tariffs that are making imports so expensive that Amazon, other companies, they've pulled back from their contracts with UPS on deliveries. So they don't need those delivery drivers anymore. So they're going to be laid off in the job market. Now, this is just the first big company that's coming out in the delivery services that is cutting their workforce. Now, we know Americans, we love products to be delivered to our front door. Well, it looks like it's going to be harder to get those things now that 20,000 less drivers are on the road, but we're going to see more. The United States unemployment rate, just get ready for it next month. We're going to see an increase in unemployment for sure, as jobs are leaving America due to the tariffs.
Breaking news. UPS just announces on 4/29/2025 they are cutting 20,000 jobs. If shipments aren't coming in from ports because of the trade war and the tariffs, we're not going to need delivery. Grocery shelves are going to be empty. Get ready. This is a recession coming like never before.
So what do you all think? Were these layoffs avoidable? What needs to change in America's economic playbook? And how do we make sure workers aren't the ones paying the price for decisions they never made? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have another video about Trump's approval falling in his first 100 days. And if you enjoy such kind of content, please click up here and enjoy. Also, consider subscribing, liking and sharing because it helps me grow my channel. But for now, thank you so much for watching. And until the next time, the Joy Report out.